afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Kelsey, can you hear me?
Yep, hear you loud and clear.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Kelsey. I'm very grateful for this time to help raise awareness of the importance of connecting kids and teens with healthy meals during the summer. We know that during the regular school year, free and reduced price school meals go really far in ensuring kids have access to nutritious food. But for many during the summer months, as you may well know, and while you're on today's webinar, there can be a real gap in their nutrition. So we are here today to talk about an undertapped child nutrition program, the USDA Summer Food Service Program. And although there has been an increase in recent years in the number of places where kids naturally gather or can go to find summer meals, there remains many programs and places that could participate. For example, more schools, housing communities, as well as nonprofits like YMCA programs, Parks and Recs, Boys and Girls Clubs, and of course libraries. We're going to learn a little later in this webinar from your colleagues who have started serving summer meals about their experiences, and from State Ed about the nuts and bolts of the program requirements. During my time today, I'm going to share a little bit about the background and context for why serving summer meals or snacks is so important to our kids and teens who live in low-income communities. And because of who you are and your mission and work in your communities, I'm going to briefly mention a few other important nutrition programs that you may also consider getting involved with, because child nutrition programs provide an ideal opportunity to make a real difference in improving public health and the academic success of our kids and teens. But before I go further, I should briefly introduce our organization. We are a statewide anti-hunger nonprofit. We raise awareness of hunger in our communities and promote federal nutrition assistance programs that address hunger. We advocate for full participation in nutrition assistance programs for all who are eligible, and we also work to promote policies that contribute to ending hunger. We believe that the crippling reality of hunger in our state and nation is unacceptable, and that it is reversible. And so to that end, we work collaboratively with national, state, and regional partners to provide targeted outreach, education, and support for the nutrition assistance programs listed here. These are not all of the USDA nutrition assistance programs, but they are the programs that are available for everyone who qualifies and applies. How hunger is defined and measured varies, but the concepts are comparable, and they are that people have access at all times to enough safe and nutritious food for an active, healthy life. So what does all this mean for New York State? The simple answer is there are multiple measures, but similar results. On national measures that each help us get at hunger across the country, no matter how you look at it, the results are relatively consistent. These measures here are from USDA and two national nonprofit anti-hunger organizations of the Food Research Action Center and Feeding America. No matter how you look at it, many people in our state are struggling. 1 in 7 of our overall population are falling into food insecure categories, and for households with children, the severity increases to 1 in 5. In terms of the consequences of food insecurity and hunger, research has shown that hunger interferes with children's ability to learn, to grow, and to stay healthy, and food insecure children are at a physical, academic, and social disadvantage. Typically, adult caregivers in food insecure households, they ration their own food in order to spare children from suffering the feeling of hunger, though this often results in detrimental overall reductions in the quality of foods that are in the home. This chart shows how child hunger first causes health problems. Hungry children are sick more often, more likely to be hospitalized, and to suffer physical, emotional, and developmental impairments. Child hunger then creates educational problems, and child hunger leads to workforce and job readiness problems. Further, emerging research sheds some lights on the harmful implications of food insecurity among teens and college students. For example, like their younger peers, food insecure adolescents are more likely to have seen a psychologist, had difficulty getting along with other children, and have been suspended from school. For school-age children and teens, since the 2007-08 school year and when the Great Recession hit, there's been a steady increase in the number of families across the state who are turning to school meal programs. You can see from this chart that as of last school year, well over 1.6 million students qualified for free and reduced price school meals. This is an increase of over 354,000 students from the 2007-08 school year. While at the same time, total enrollment of our student population has remained nearly the same, the percentage of our students who are qualified to receive free reduced priced school meals has increased from 48% to 60%. And while the previous slide gives us a sense of the total number of students who are low income across the state, this slide compares an average school day with an average summer July day. On any given average school day, over 1.1 million low-income K-12 students across the state eat lunch at school. This past summer's participation data is still being analyzed, but during the 2015 summer statewide, summer nutrition programs reached about 1/3 of the low-income kids who eat school meals on a daily basis. And when we look at local numbers of summer nutrition participation across the state, there's much higher participation in New York City. So in most upstate counties, we reach far fewer than 1/3 of the kids. Indeed, many of you may be on today's webinar because you are seeing some of your community's children and teens spending long hours of summer days in your library without the healthy food that they need. The good news is that child nutrition programs like summer meals, as well as school breakfast and lunch, and after-school meals make sure children get the nutrition they need where they learn and play and are cared for. In fact, research shows that participation in federal nutrition programs such as SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and meals provided during school, after school, child care, and summer, they all mitigate hunger and support children's health and learning. Specifically, there's a growing body of research that shows how SNAP can safeguard against food insecurity and improve the health and academic and employment outcomes. SNAP is our nation's largest anti-hunger program. In New York State alone, over 1 million children benefit from SNAP, and overall, about 1/3 of all New Yorkers who receive monthly SNAP benefits are children. But because SNAP is underutilized, and because of who you are, I want to talk just a bit about SNAP outreach efforts as well. Through the nationally recognized Nutrition Outreach and Education Program with local community-based coordinators located in counties across the state, we connect families and households with monthly SNAP benefits. These coordinators pre-screen households for potential eligibility, and they help them apply. We wanted to especially share this resource with you because they provide information to community groups, and they may meet clients in convenient community spaces such as libraries. So if you haven't already, we invite you to visit the website foodhelpny.org to connect with your local NOAP coordinator. And if you are located in a county where there is currently no NOAP services available, we encourage you to connect with us directly and to also help spread the word to nonprofits in your area about this competitive 4-year grant opportunity that's coming this summer. I also just very quickly want to reference the importance and value of after-school meals served at enrichment programs during the regular school year for those of you who have students attending programs at your libraries after school. According to a national survey conducted by Share Our Strength, nearly 60% of parents reported having tight household budgets, making it difficult to provide food for their children after school. Furthermore, 25% of low-income parents surveyed, they worried that their children do not have enough to eat between school lunch and breakfast the following day. And overall, while most parents are interested in after-school programs, especially with tutoring and creative or recreational activities, 73% of parents said that they would be even more interested in an after-school program if it provided healthy food. And so before I turn it over to the other speakers to talk about their experiences, I want to encourage you to visit the Summer Meals NY website. You'll find a variety of outreach resources and background information, a directory of sponsors in your county you could connect with, as well as USDA's interactive mapper to find places in your area serving meals and snacks. And you can also learn more about how you may be eligible to serve summer nutrition to the kids in your library. And as you're able, we also encourage you to add one of several sizes of web buttons or badges to your website, one of which is shown here in the upper right-hand corner of the slide. Like some of our partners here on the webinar have done this with their sites, just as a way to help with outreach in your community leading up to next summer. And very quickly here, just a couple of the information and outreach materials we have on the website for your use. We created the piece on the left a couple of years ago specifically for libraries. Some of you may have seen it already. And the piece on the right is for general community organizations and use. We all really value any and all ways that local libraries may help strengthen summer nutrition for kids and teens. Participating in summer meals in any way is very meaningful, whether in outreach or in serving meals. This slide gives just a peek into how libraries have increased their participation in summer meals over the last couple years. Unfortunately, we aren't able to capture all the libraries partnering with community sites and sponsors for summer enrichment programming, as well as those who are helping with outreach for other summer meals locations. And as I mentioned earlier, this past summer's participation data is still being finalized, but we can share that since the baseline of 2013 summer, when we really started focusing on outreach partnerships with the State Library Association and the Summer Reading Program and State Ed around reaching out to libraries, we're really pleased that there are now 2.5 times more libraries. We're now serving meals, and we expect this to grow this summer even more. And that boils down to over 70,000 more meals and snacks were served to kids and teens at libraries than ever before. Finally, we want to make sure to invite you to connect with us according to your needs and interests, and to attend our statewide anti-hunger conference on May 17. On our websites, we have a variety of information, resources, and outreach materials for your use posted on the websites listed on this slide. They can help you connect your patrons and communities with the nutrition that they need to grow and thrive. We also invite you to connect with us on our social media channels and learn about advocacy opportunities to further strengthen and protect our nation's child nutrition programs. The picture here is of a partnership with a children's librarian and summer meal sponsor this past summer. This librarian came to a summer site kickoff event at a community park, and in this moment she's signing up this family with 3 children for the summer reading program that they, for the first time that they'd ever participated. And she also brought her summer reading program curriculum to this site every other week last summer as well. So before I hand it over to our other speakers, I want to thank you so very much for all the meaningful work that you're doing. We are well aware that libraries may be the nearest and most welcoming community center and trusted public space for community's youth. You serve as a tremendous community resource focused on nourishing kids' minds and their sense of wonder and creativity. And so for those of you who are considering offering your space for meals and snacks, it's really a great fit with your mission. And my time is up, and I won't take from our next speakers good news and insights, but I must say that they are true champions in their community and throughout the state for kids and summer nutrition, and I am very honored to know them. And I know we are taking questions at the end, so I'm going to turn it back over to Kelsey.
Thank you, Misha. We are now going to hear from Christina Dipple. She is the Youth Services Director at the Newark Public Library. So Christina, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
Okay, hello everybody. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience providing summer meals at the Newark Public Library. For those of you who don't know, we are not in New Jersey. We are near, kind of halfway between Syracuse and Rochester in a pretty rural county. We're trying to serve about 15,000 people, so we're kind of medium-sized. We started this program in 2014 after I saw the Hunger Solutions listed as a partner on Summer Reading NYS website. And that year we did the program for 4 weeks and we served 267 lunches. And as you can see from the screen, we have increased every single year. So the more people are learning about this program and expecting it, the more people are coming. Just a couple of observations that we've made. Like I mentioned, the program has been growing, which is wonderful, and also that people really need this program. You can see that from the statistics, but also some of our volunteers noticed, because they had served meals at other sites in the community, and they have noticed that kids and families were coming to more than one site each day. So they really needed the food, and it's sad to think about, but really it makes me feel really great that I'm part of helping to provide the meals to the kids who really need it. So a couple of reasons why I think the library is perfect for this program is that, number one, I think, is that it's a comfortable site. Lots of these programs are in churches, especially around where I live. They're in churches, and some people might not be totally comfortable going into a specific church or any church at all. And also, if you're going into a church like on a weekday, chances are as a kid, you're thinking, everybody knows this is why I'm going there, is for a free meal. And kids, especially once they get a certain age, they start getting embarrassed about those type of things. So when they come to a library, number one, they feel comfortable because it's a comfortable community space that everybody comes to. And also, it's not obvious that they're here for the free lunch. So, that embarrassment can be an obstacle for some people. Also, this is good for our programming numbers and circuit numbers and all of that. It brings in new library users. Since we've started this program, we've started to see more and more new people that have lived in the community but haven't been coming to the library regularly. And so since they've been coming to the lunches, we've been able to talk to them about what we offer as far as our collection and our programs. We put out flyers for them and resources that they could be interested in during lunches, and they come to our programs too. So it's a win-win for everybody. Now, a couple of tips for success. This is sort of just from my experience. I would say the number one first thing you should do is visit Summer Meals New York website for just a good overview of the program, like you're getting here today, but you'll get more information that you can browse at your leisure. And then once you kind of have a good idea of how it works, call Hunger Solutions. That's what I did second. I called and I talked to Misha, and she just helped me figure everything out. They have the most up-to-date information about what sponsors there are in your community. And basically what you'll do is you'll find out where sponsors are near you, and you'll try to partner with one of them. So there might be like 3 or 4 in your area. There might be, I don't even know, a lot. Or maybe there is just one. So there was a few in my area, and I kind of had to call around to see which one would be a good fit for our library, schedule-wise and just availability-wise. So I did have to call around a little bit that first year, and that really was the hardest part of the whole thing. It wasn't hard, but it was the hardest part of what it was. So once you kind of get everything set with your sponsor, you're good. You don't have to do a whole lot. A huge tip, this is huge, scheduling your lunch program. You want it to be very close to your other programs, your other summer reading programs, maybe right after a program or right before a program, or like we did right in the middle of 2 programs each day. So kids, a good way to think about it is to have it scheduled to where they can do the lunch and a program in one convenient visit. You don't want them to have to wait around for 45 minutes in between, So just kind of make it convenient for them to do both. Definitely plan early. For this summer, I would start planning right this minute. As soon as you get off this webinar, start thinking about it, just so you can have everything finalized, scheduled, so you can include it on your summer reading calendars. You want to get as many people to know about it as you can. You want to talk about it at your school visits. So the sooner that you have everything finalized and ready, the better off you'll be. Also, you want to make it clear, I would suggest, in your promotional materials, your flyers and everything, that the lunches are for kids and teens. So the way we listed it was on our calendar, I think, was free lunch for kids or something like that, just so people know, because there are also hungry adults in your community, and listing it this way on all of your materials will help it just to be clear that these are just for kids and teens. One thing you can consider is having a list of places that hungry adults in your community can go to get food for themselves. Promote it. We all basically know that promotion is really, really important for programs, especially when you're trying something new. Hand out flyers at the library and when you go to the schools or other outreach events. We also had a flyer that had the locations and times of other sites in the community, so that if people couldn't make it to ours or they needed to go to more than one place, they could do that. I also found this group, What's Happening in Wayne County, which is our county, and where people just put different community events and things like that. So I posted our picture of our flyer on there, and it got a lot of attention, and the group actually made it the cover photo of the group for a few months. So that's just a different way to let people know. Just let everybody know, because it's not something that people would normally think that a library would provide. So you'll really surprise a lot of people. And finally, I just want to encourage you guys to try this in your community. It's really, really, it's the bare minimum of work, and you know, that's it's just so easy. All you have to do once you get everything organized is provide the space, maybe a little bit of cleanup, but our volunteers did that for us. The food is prepared for you, it is delivered to you, and it is served by volunteers. It's just so easy, especially considering, you know, what you're getting out of it. Number one, higher program numbers. The lunch counts as a program number, so you're getting numbers from that. Plus they're attending your other library programs, and they're checking out your materials, so your circ numbers are going up too. You're bringing in library users, like I had mentioned before, and people are going to be talking about this. It's not something, like I said, that people really think about libraries doing, but we do it. You know, the way that we serve our communities is always changing, and this really is a great way to serve more people in your community. And finally, the main benefit is knowing that you're helping to feed hungry children in your community. That is really what is most important here, is providing the nutrition that kids need to be healthy and active and smart. That's all I have, so I'm going to hand it over to Kelsey, who will introduce our next presenter.
Thank you, Christina. Our next presenter is going to be Ashley Pickett. Ashley is the children's librarian at the Roswell P. Flower Memorial Library. So then, Ashley, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and give it a start. I would also like to remind everybody that the questions tab is open, and you can ask questions throughout the presentation that we'll be able to come back to at the end.
All right. Hi, everyone. Like I said, my name is Ashley Pickett, and I am the children's librarian here at Flower Library. Kelsey, just a quick question. Can everyone see the bar on the right-hand side of my screen? Is that showing?
No, that doesn't show.
Okay, just checking. Thank you.
Yep.
So like you said, I am our children's librarian at Flower Library, and as a library, we serve about 26,000 to 27,000 in our community in Watertown, but we are also a central library for our library system, so our services really extend beyond our immediate community, you know, out into our counties. Okay, so when I saw the advertisements for the summer food program come up in the PubYac listserv, I really thought that it was an all-or-nothing program, meaning you have to serve every day you are open and no exceptions and that kind of thing. So my initial concerns were really about manpower and about our physical space. I wanted to know, you know, if we had enough staff to support not only regular library operations, but the summer food program as well. You know, will we require volunteers, and how do we manage those volunteers who for us
sometimes aren't dependable. Can we get another organization like a Community Action Planning Council to provide volunteers for us? And do we need some kind of a kitchen? You know, at our library, we're very fortunate to have a staff room, but it really only has a sink, a small refrigerator, and a bathroom, and that's it. So I really had a lot of questions and concerns that I, needed addressed before we could move forward. Initially, I reached out through the Hunger Solutions website. I reached out to Misha, our state contact, and she, after a great conversation with her, she put us in touch with our local sponsor, the Community Action Planning Council of Jefferson County, and their coordinators met here with us at the library. So they really took a tour of our space, and they reassured us that we really could tailor the meals and the program to what we have. So we had a meeting room inside the library, but we also have a great lawn out front of the library, and we were able to serve outside. And they really reassured us that it's not an all or nothing program. You can really do, any little bit that you can do is going to help, and you can do what works for you. So once I kind of started talking about this, I really talked to other librarians in our library system and our youth services consultant who kind of help pass the information along and kind of get everybody connected in a new way. And, and as libraries, as we all know, we're always looking for new ways that we can better serve our patrons. So we're really always looking for those things to help everyone out. Okay, so for us, serving meals meant serving 1 day a week during our 6-week summer reading program. And that was a way for us to really get our feet wet and kind of learn about how this program was going to work for us and what it was going to look like. And like I said, we were lucky enough to serve outside on most Wednesdays. And our local farmers market runs right outside of our building. So we kind of share that space with other vendors, and I was able to pull a whole new audience in that's by our building every day who didn't realize that we were a library. So it was a great connection for us. And as we all know, buying local and fresh produce at a market like that can sometimes be expensive for our families, and our free lunches allowed the families to save their money for the fresh produce that they can take home for other meals. And for us, CAPC gave us every single thing we needed. So they prepared, they packaged, and they deliver all of the supplies right to our library. So that included the straws, the napkins, the silverware, the condiments, everything that we needed was brought right to us. Even the thermometers and things we needed to fulfill requirements and regulations for the health department as well. So for us, we needed 3 people to run this program successfully, and we found out the hard way. We needed 2 volunteers to fill the bags, and by that I mean kind of gather everything from forks and straws and condiments and different parts of the lunch and putting them in a brown paper bag. That's something they didn't give to us just because they couldn't afford to do that many, but we were able to grab those from our supplies. We needed 2 volunteers to fill those bags, to count the meals as we gave them out, and to hand them to kids and really interact with the families and the people that were coming to us. And we needed 1 person to stand at the edge of the farmers market and just talk with every family that we saw, and to really talk up the program and advertise it right there at that moment. And for us, volunteers are actually mostly staff members. It's kind of like we're volunteering to be out there and to be a part of the program and to run the program. And whoever was available when the meals arrived would count and take the temperature of the meals. Some of the challenges that we faced were kind of surprising, and others I kind of had an idea were coming. But for us, we know that Wednesdays are a very, very busy day for our library. Because of the farmers market traffic, our staff is swamped from about 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon when the market closes down. So for us, I'm very, very fortunate. I have a regular volunteer who is my brother that I'm able to rope in and kind of get his help, and he's really learned how things work and how to interact with everyone. So he helped eliminate some of the problems we had. And then one of our secretaries here at the building was able to lend a hand as well, and she really became kind of my right-hand helper in helping with when her duties are flexible. And the food arrived at lunchtime, just like we needed, but the only problem is that the market gets very, very busy around lunchtime. So and our staff are busy as well. So we really had to juggle getting the food into the building, getting it sorted, getting everything temped, and then because of the traffic that we have, our parking lot is usually jam-packed for hours, so we don't really have an easy delivery space, and unfortunately that's a constant battle for us. We just try to make it work as much as we can. And then I didn't expect to run into problems when it comes to handling the trash. We didn't realize that our farmers market didn't have enough garbage cans. And I left a garbage tote out after our first meal thinking, oh, you know, maybe they need a few more minutes. I'm going to take everything inside, but, you know, I won't worry about it, and I'll pick up the garbage tote later on. Well, we were very surprised to discover that not only was the garbage tote overflowed, but the seagulls had made their own lunch as well, and you can imagine the problems that came along with that. So our solution is to tow the garbage tote in immediately, just something we didn't think about, but unfortunately had to learn the hard way. And because we are outside, sometimes we unfortunately face uncooperative weather. So when the weather was nice, we would sell out, if you will, of meals almost immediately. In fact, our first time serving, we ran out of 50 meals in 15 minutes and had to call for more. So it was absolutely amazing. We were so overwhelmed and so grateful. But when we do serve inside, we also realize that our library is poorly marked. Sometimes it's hard to realize that it is a library because it's an old marble building in the front. And the sign has kind of faded away over time with lots of weather wear and tear on it. So I actually have to stand outside with an umbrella in the rain and talk it up to everybody that comes by and just make sure that they realize there's a great place to get dry and there's a great place to get some food as well. And something that was suggested to us the first few years that we did our program was to have activities outside at the market along with our summer lunch program to kind of get our kids interacting more and get them out and about more and learning about the library as well, all at the same time. But for us, we didn't realize the farmers market was their activity for the day. Families weren't looking for other things to do. They were really busy already as it was. So we didn't offer activities last year, and it worked out well for us. You know, we could spend our time interacting with the kids and, you know, doing our regular library duties as well. So it wasn't an extra step that we had to prepare for, and it worked out for us. We didn't get very many complaints. So for this year, I really considered increasing the number of days that we offer food, but for some reason the Wednesdays just seem to work just so perfectly for us with our staff and with our schedules that I think I'm going to stick with that for now. We will probably end up increasing the number of meals that we serve just because people are learning that we're here and they're learning that this is another service that we provide. So we're probably going to need to increase that there. But we were considering offering activities again just because it kind of goes against the grain sometimes for us to not do as much as we can. But I think that's going to take a back burner as well just because our families aren't looking for them. And just before I go, real quick, I thought I would kind of give you a picture, if you will, to see what this looks like for us, just because this would kind of give you a better idea. We have a nice, huge lawn that we use and share with our City Hall, and I do get permission, by the way, every year just to use this, just to make sure our bases are covered. But this is what it looked like for us, and we have a great time interacting with our kids. All right, so if anybody does have any questions, I'm definitely more than willing to work with you and kind of talk things out and try to figure out some solutions for you. So my contact information is here. And I am going to turn this over to Kelsey, and she can help us out with the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Ashley. We're going to hand it over to Michelle. Michelle is a summer food service program specialist who works for the New York State Department of Education. So we're going to hand it over to her. And Michelle, whenever you're ready, you can take over.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Crawford, and I work for the New York State Education Department's Child Nutrition Program Office. Today I'll share some basic information with you and discuss how you may be able to partner with a sponsor in your area to help feed kids this summer. What is the Summer Food Service Program? let's start with what exactly is it? It is a federally funded program which provides free nutritious meals to low-income children 18 years old and younger when school is not in session. In New York State, the Education Department administers the USDA program. Sponsors are the organizations that sign an agreement with the state to operate and administer this program. Sites are the actual locations where children are being fed. Sites provide activities to children, supervise the meal service, and maintain meal counts. So how do you become a site? If you think you are in an area of need and have children visiting your library in the summer months, you may be able to become a feeding site this summer. Sites need to demonstrate that they are feeding low-income children. There are two main methods you can use to qualify an open site. And I'm just going to click on to use the SED data. I'm going to click on it. Hold on a second. You scroll down, and then you choose wherever county you're in. You click on that county, and then it'll pull up the school data for you. Thank you. And to use the census data, it would be the same thing. You click on the link, pull it over, and then you can enter in the address in the find area. You scroll up and it will tell you if your census data is eligible. It'll pull it up on the bottom screen. Let me exit. Okay. To contact a sponsoring area, you tell them you are interested in becoming a site. Once you've established you are in a needy area, try and partner with an experienced sponsor in your area to become a site under the sponsorship. The link on the slide will connect you to a directory of all the sponsors we have in the state. Hopefully there is one in your area that you can work with. You can pull up and it comes up under each county, the address, the links, and the phone numbers of the sponsoring organizations in your area, and contact them. And you can always contact the SFSP office if you need assistance or help with this also. And our phone number will be listed at the end of this presentation for the Summer Food Service Program Office. So for an open site, for a library in an eligible area, it is best to be an open site. Open site means just that. Open, no locked doors, no pre-registration, no questions asked. Our office provides free banners to display outside your doors to alert the community of the availability of free summer meals for kids and teens. As an open site, serves meals to any children 18 years and older and younger, and is located in an area at which at least 50% or more of the children are from households that would be eligible for free or reduced price school meals under the National School Lunch Program and the School Breakfast Program. This means any child under the age of 19 can be served. Children visiting from out of town, kids outside the school district, kids you don't know. The site may serve up to 2 meals per day, as long as they are not lunch and supper. Breakfast and lunch, lunch and snack, breakfast and snack are all allowable combinations. Another option, if you don't qualify as an open site, or if you wish to, you can qualify as a closed enrolled site. These types of sites have children enrolled in a summer program. The site may be in a needy area and qualify using the SED data or census data also. If the site is not in a needy area, but the children that are enrolled in the program are needy, you may qualify as a closed enrolled site. In order to do this, you must demonstrate that at least 50% or more of the enrolled children at the site are eligible for free or reduced price school meals. You may ask a school to certify your roster of kids or collect household income applications from the families. The meal pattern. There are established meal patterns that must be followed in order to receive reimbursement. The sponsor will have a menu that meets these requirements. And you must ensure that it's important to serve nutritious meals that meet the meal pattern requirements and are appetizing also to the children. So what are the responsibilities of the site? As a feeding site, you will be responsible for some key items. Ensure all children receive a complete meal, meaning the meal contains all the required food components in order to be claimed for reimbursement. Serve only one meal per child. Provide an organized and supervised meal service. Meals must be consumed on-site in order to be eligible for reimbursement. Meals are not allowed to be taken off-site. An accurate meal count must be taken and maintained. It is important for sites to report changes in participation to the sponsor to prevent wasting food. Because this is a federally funded program, there are also civil rights requirements. For example, the sponsor will provide a poster to display at your site. All children attending must have equal access and be provided the same meal. Site staff must follow food safety regulations for serving food. Sponsors are responsible for training staff on site before the program begins. There is a written guide for site supervisors that you can view by using the link here or by requesting a copy from our office. And here's the link. The Site Supervisor's Guide has all the regulations and guidance for site supervisors for all these requirements. You can also request something from our office or call if you have any questions. Even if you're not able to become a feeding site, you can always help with raising community awareness of the program. Many families are unaware of this great benefit available to them. On our website, you will find free resources such as the SFSB or Summer Food Service Program Outreach Toolkit that contains printable flyers, letters to parents, and press releases that will help the community learn about the program. Many of the materials included on this site are designed to be customized. You can download PowerPoint files, information sheets, letters, and marketing materials and modify them to suit your specific needs. You can also order free flyers from our office to distribute to the families at your library by clicking the link included in the site. And here is where you'll find the Summer Food Service Program Toolkit will be scroll down and you click on the outreach right where it says tools and resources and you click on this tab here. So connecting families. There are many methods you can use to locate open feeding sites in the summer. Your staff can use these methods to help connect families with food this summer. The USDA has a site mapper tool that will have all the sites uploaded to the map. Families can call 211 or 311 if they are in New York City. There is a texting option where you text the word food or comida to 877-877 to receive a text back with the closest open site. The National Hunger Hotline also has an open site data with a separate number for Spanish-speaking individuals. Please keep in mind, there are not currently any open SFSP sites. You will need to wait till the end of June to access the open site data. Thank you for your interest in the Summer Food Service Program. If you have any questions or concern regarding the program, please contact our office, 518-486-1086. Again, I thank you for all your help and your participation in helping us with the Summer Food Service Program and help feeding kids.
Thank you, Michelle. We're going to hand this
Thank you.
over to our next presenter, Sharon Phillips. Sharon is coming to us from the New York State Education Department, where she is a Youth Services Coordinator.
You can hear me. Thank you so much, Misha, for inviting me to be a part of this wonderful webinar talking about libraries and summer meals programs, which is very, very important. And my name again is Sharon Phillips. I am part of the Division of Library Development here at the New York State Library. So I'm representing the New York State Library, which is also part of the New York State Education Department. And I'm involved with coordinating many of the youth services activities for New York State, working with public libraries and public library systems. And also, I am the summer reading program coordinator. So this is a wonderful fit to talk about libraries and summer meals programs. So summer reading and partnerships. Summer Reading at New York Libraries, which is the summer reading program initiative that is supported by New York State. And we provide, we work with public libraries all throughout the state. There are 756 public libraries, but about 1,100 public libraries if you include all the branches. So we support programs and activities at the library system level and at public libraries throughout New York State to provide summer reading programs and activities for children who are not in school during the summer, obviously, but we want them to continue to read and learn and have fun. And that's the purpose of the summer reading at New York Libraries program. The theme and slogan for 2017 is Build a Better World. And we think that that's a perfect and very appropriate slogan for strengthening our partnership with Hunger Solutions New York and with public libraries for bringing more kids into the library to participate in summer reading and also to get a healthy meal. You can find out more about the summer reading program at the site that's listed on your slide there. It's summerreadingnys.org. And these are just some of the partners that are involved in summer reading at New York Libraries. Of course, Hunger Solutions, we've been happy to partner with them for the last few years, and we have other partners as well. I know Misha already showed this slide to be well read. You must be well fed, but I think it's just I wanted to bring it up again because I think it's a wonderful illustration of just the concept of linking libraries and summer meals programs, which is it's a wonderful fit. It's a wonderful way to bring more kids and teens into your libraries, and as a result of them coming into the library, we hope that they will be involved in summer reading programs, which are just very important to keep them learning over the summer so that they do not suffer from learning loss over the summer, and they're ready to go back to school in September, having had a lot of enrichment and wonderful opportunities at the library over the summer. So this is one of the flyers that we came up with actually last year, and this flyer is available on the New York State Library website, and it's called Summer Reading and Summer Eating, a Great Combination. And it's a little capsule of what the Summer Meals program is and how it works. We are part of the Collaborative Summer Library Program, which comes up with the theme and slogan every year. And as I mentioned, this year it's Build a Better World. So feel free to go to our website, download this flyer to help promote summer meals and summer reading. Libraries, of course, as we've all mentioned, make great partners to help provide kids with learning opportunities over the summer when they're not in school, and also to get nourishment during the summer months. So the New York State Library and Summer Reading at New York Libraries encourages libraries to find out more about participating and spread the word. And you know, we're happy to do what we can to you know, help libraries participate in this program. And that's it for me. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sharon. We're going to enter into our Q&A session. So we have 2 questions so far. Everybody can hop on and get their last-minute questions in. Our first question is from Troy. He said, does this include breakfast and lunch?
And to answer the question, you are able to serve both breakfast and lunch. As there's what combination of meals you want to do. Some people just serve lunch. Some people do breakfast and a snack. But yes, breakfast and lunch is an option.
Misha, could you repeat that? We were having a little trouble hearing you. It was very quiet.
Sure. We were saying the combination of meals that you choose to serve at your library is completely up to you. Breakfast and lunch is an option. If you're able to do both, that's great. Some of the sponsors have sites that just serve lunch at their libraries. Some do breakfast and a snack. But if you're able to do both breakfast and lunch, that will be great for the kids in your community.
Thank you. And our second question is, do open site meals have to be consumed on site, or is that just for registration sites?
The requirement with the program is that the meals are consumed on site, so you're not able to hand the child a bagged lunch and let them leave. They would have to be sitting at your site and have a supervised, organized meal service.
Great, thank you. I'll give everybody another minute or so to get in any last minute questions that they might have. I would just like to extend another thank you to all of our presenters today, Misha, Christina, Ashley, Michelle, and Sharon, for giving us such a great inside look on the summer meals programs. And Troy's asking how we access the PDF, and I can answer that. Troy, we're going to put it up on our NYLA website. It's going to be under our archived webinars. So you'll go onto that site and the PDF will be right there as well as this video. And we have one other question that says, what is included in a typical meal?
The meals vary, and whoever the sponsoring organization is will typically have a set menu, and they'll work with you for what you're going to hand out at the sites. For breakfast, it's pretty basic. It just needs to include milk, a fruit or a vegetable, and a grain. So a lot of people do cereal with milk and juice. We do see a lot of fresh fruit that's added in for the summer because it's available in New York State. And then for lunch, the meal pattern includes milk, a grain, a fruit, and a vegetable, or 2 fruits or 2 vegetables, and then a meat or meat alternate. So not everybody serves meat to their population, and there's preferences allowed within that meal pattern. So people could do, you know, peanut butter and jellies or yogurts and things like that too. And there is a lot of flexibility in the time that you're serving. So you can work with your sponsor to adjust your meal service to meet the needs of your community. We see when people are serving the teen population, sometimes they start their meal service much later. So there's a lot of flexibility in how you operate your sites.
Thank you.
For us too, here at Flower Library, a lot of our meals, all of our meals are all cold meals, so it's not something that you'd have to heat, and they come packaged right inside a cooler with layers of like an ice blanket or ice blocks, that kind of thing. And we've seen things like cold pizza, we've seen the PB&Js, we've got the fresh fruits and vegetables as well, so there really is a good variety for us.
And we have Nicole, who has 2 questions. The first being, did any of the sites work with churches, and if so, in what way?
This is Christina. At Newark, our sponsor is the Wayne County ARC. They make the food, but the local Baptist church, they provide the volunteers, and they bring everything. They serve it. Another thing actually that I wanted to add was my situation was a little different from Ashley's at Flower. We didn't really have to do anything. We set it up and that was it. The volunteers from the church came and served everything. We didn't have to assemble bags and nothing like that. They came with a few coolers full of already bagged lunches and they handed them out. So it can be very easy. We didn't have, I didn't even, like, it requires 0 staff after the setup. I mean, I was always here. I'd check in and I'd hang out with people, but I just wanted to make sure people know that it can be super easy. It doesn't have to be very complicated.
Oh, even for us here at Flower, it was extremely easy. The CAPC makes things so simple for us. The biggest involvement is staff time, but if you're lucky enough to have those volunteers, that's amazing.
And Nicole's second question was, are there gluten-free or nut-free options?
For us at Flower, we ran into that last year actually for the first time that we saw. We could have ran into it before. They just never notified us. But we did have a few upset families who were concerned that their child had a nut allergy and it was PB&J day. So what I do is I try to put the menu out, but unfortunately with the number of kids with the number of meals that our sponsor is preparing, they can't do limits like that at this time. I don't know if that's something that could change in the future, but right now they can't.
All right, thank you. If there are no other questions, we can conclude today's webinar. I want to say another thank you to all of our presenters and to all of our attendees for joining us today. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.